Start in a double kneeling position with your knees underneath your hips. Slowly take one foot and bring it out to the side. Make sure your toes are in alignment with that kneecap. Hands on your hips. You're going to slowly tuck your hips underneath, squeezing the bent knee glute. So you're in a posterior tilt. With the web of your hand, you're going to go right above the greater trochanter. So the outside bump on your leg bone. And you're going to use the web of your hand to move down and in, or to push that hip down and in. You could take the other arm and use it as a driver, so coming up and over to further get mobility through that hip. Here's how it looks from the side. So foot's coming out to the side, using the web of my hand, first moving into a posterior tilt and maintaining it using the web of my hand over that greater trochanter, and I'm mobilizing down and in for my hip. Using the other arm as a driver to help improve and increase that hip mobility. Start on the floor like you're about to get into a plank position. You'll come down onto your forearms. One leg will be straight. The other leg is up at 90 degrees and that knee is bent. Start with the foam roller on the inside of your thigh above the knee joint. Make sure your lower back is in a neutral position and your elbows are right underneath your shoulders to support your rib cage. Slowly roll up the inside of the thigh, find a tender area, pin it, and then move. You can slowly move the hip in and out to mobilize the tissue. You can continue this up all the way up towards the groin area and then repeat for the other side. Start in a kneeling position. Make sure your hips are over your knees and then bring your knees as wide as you can go and make sure your ankles are lined up with those knees. From here, you're going to come down so your hands are underneath your shoulders, almost like lining your thumbs up with your armpits. At the lower back, arch it as much as you can go, then round it to go anterior and posterior, and then find a middle position. Slowly bring your hands forward and maintain that hip positioning as you slowly sit your sits bones or your butt bones back towards your heels. You'll feel a slight stretch in your groin and hold it there. Make sure you're not allowing your tailbone to tuck underneath or your lower back to round. Make sure you're maintaining that neutral position so you get a proper stretch. A progression is to come down to your forearms, still maintaining that positioning at your hips. And as you move one arm forward, you're going to turn the other leg in and then come back and alternate from side to side. The goal is to maintain that proper hip positioning.